بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين
اللهم صل على
اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Alhamdulillah, we are able to resume our series on akhlaq based on the book Lessons on Islamic Morals. As you remember, we said there are 4 types of relations that we need to study. Our relation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this is alhamdulillah finished. Our relation with ourselves, then our relation with other people, then our relation with the rest of the creation, like with the environment. So after finishing the first section of the book, which was giving us some introduction to Islamic ethics, and a second part which is about our relation with God, now we start with lesson 12. And the very first thing that we want to focus on is purification of the soul. What we call in Islamic culture Tazkiyatun nafs. Tazkiyah means purification. Nafs means soul. So purification of the soul. In Surah Ash-Shams, we have this concept presented to us in a beautiful way. You know, we say that وَنَفْسٍ وَمَا سَوَّاهَا فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنْ دَسَّاهَا. In the first 8 verses, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swears by different things, but then the main point comes in verses 9 and 10. This is chapter 91, Surah Ash-Shams. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا. It must be such an important thing that Allah, before mentioning this, makes qasam, swears by Wash-Shams and 11 things. Although Allah doesn't need, to swear by anything, but just to make us really believe. One who purifies it is certainly going to be happy, to have felicity. Ad aflaha man zakkaha. So whoever can purify his soul or her soul, he would have falah, felicity, happiness. وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنْ دَسَّاهَا. But if you don't take care of your soul, if you don't educate or purify your soul and just leave it, then you will fail. So Tazkiyatun nafs is a very important thing, and inshallah we'll talk more about this. So one of the things we have in this lesson is that human soul has different conditions. If something was fixed, it doesn't make sense then to talk about purification of it. For example, we don't talk about purification of the soul of animals or purification of vegetables. Yeah? Because they are fixed. But human beings have different conditions. What we can learn from the Quran is at least we have 3 different levels for nafs, or 3 different stages for nafs. At the very basic level, we have what we call an-nafsul ammara. Yeah? An-nafsul ammara is a terminology that our scholars have been inspired to use based on what we have in the story of Yusuf alayhi salam. In chapter 12, verse 53, Ma ubarra'u nafsi inna an-nafsa la'ammaratun bis-su' illa ma rahima rabbi. So, inna an-nafsa, of course there is a discussion here among mufassirin. Is this sentence said by Yusuf alayhi salam or by Zulaykha? Normally people think it is by Yusuf alayhi salam, but some people say maybe by Zulaykha. Inna an-nafsa la'ammaratun bis-su', the soul truly asks to do bad things. Ammara, if you know Arabic, we call it sighatul mubalagha. Ammara is different from amira. Amira means commands, but ammara means commands a lot. Like alim and allama. The difference. Ghafir and ghaffar. Ghafir means the one who forgives. Ghaffar, the one who forgives, often. Sighatul mubalagha. Ammara means commands a lot. Bissu, to do bad things. Illa ma rahma rabbi. Unless Allah's mercy comes. In the discussion about Allah's mercy, I had a course and also there are papers on understanding God's mercy. We have mentioned that one of the functions of Allah's mercy is to help you against temptations coming from shaitan or coming from nafs. Rahmah helps. So, ma'sumin, or people who are very pious, because they receive rahmah from Allah, that's another story. Illa ma rahima rabbi. That's excluded. Otherwise, people who have not reached that level of consciousness and piety, they keep receiving temptations for doing bad things. They have to be very careful. Unfortunately, some people keep telling, do what you like, enjoy yourself. It's not going to work. You can never have any spirituality if you just do what you like. The whole spirituality starts when you don't do what you like. And the more you resist against your desires, the more you become spiritual. Sometimes I have, told this story in some of the lectures. I don't know if you have heard this story, that in the time of Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, there was a person that had some power. He could tell secrets. And people love such people. If you bring greatest alim and you bring someone who can tell secrets, everyone goes to the one who can get secrets. They leave the alim alone. Yeah? Or if someone can, read your mind, they will go to that person. So, many people were amazed and they gathered around this person. And he had also no faith. He was not a Muslim. He was not a believer. And people, somehow were also starting to doubt if a unbeliever can, have such power, why we need to have faith? So Imam Sadiq alayhi salam asked him, how did you get this power? He said, whatever I desired, I resisted. I didn't go after it. For example, it was very hot. I had desire to go to a cool place. I didn't go. Or I had desire to have a cold drink. I didn't have it. Or for example, there was delicious food. I didn't take it. So I always resisted against my desires. And if you can do this, you can also get a special power. If you do this for just a few months, then you can get this very powerful. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam said, do you desire to become a Muslim? He said no. So Imam said, then you have to become Muslim. So when he became a Muslim, then he said, now I don't see anything. My power has gone. And then Imam said, because you had no faith and you were struggling, your reward was that power. But now your reward is saved for your akhirah. So, we are not that much interested in getting these powers. Although people might be very excited if they know someone, has this power, but for us, this is not important. And our scholars say very rightly and wisely that if someone tries to be pious and spiritual so that he can have good dreams or can, inform people about secrets, this is shirk. Yeah? It's not really serving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala if you are interested in such things. These things may happen on your way towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like, you are traveling to a very important place. On your way, some beautiful sceneries may come. You should not be distracted. Unfortunately, some people get distracted and become busy with these things. You should keep moving. There's a famous story about Allama Tabatabai that when he was in Najaf, he was, still very young, and his teacher, Ayatollah Qazi Tabatabai, had given him some special, a'mal to do, and said, you may see some things, but you should not be distracted. And Allama Tabatabai says that when I was doing my zikr or a'mal, and I think it was in Masjid al-Sahle, I saw an angel coming from one side towards me. And I immediately remembered what my teacher had told me. So I didn't pay attention. Then the angel came from the other side, and I didn't pay attention. And then he says the angel left with some sadness on his face or its face. And he says, I'm still sad of remembering sadness on the face of the angel. Because angels can take form of human beings or form of a pigeon or some different things. Sometimes they become like a human being. فَتَمَثَّلَ لَهَا بَشَرًا سَوِيًّا. So when this angel came to Allama Tabatabai, because his teacher had told him not to pay attention, He didn't pay attention. If it was us, when we have forgotten what the teacher has said, I said, this is an angel, forget what the teacher said. Let's, have a conversation with this angel. So, this is a test. Sometimes a great thing comes when you take the instruction of the teacher, There are many things like this. In any case, we should not be distracted by anything. Just be focused on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just try to serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, we distinguish between two things. At this point, the first time I saw this point was from Ayatollah Ansari Hamedani Rahmatullah alayhi. A very great alim, very special person, who was the spiritual teacher of Ayatollah Dasghi and many other scholars. He made this point, that there is a difference between tazkiyatun nafs and taqwiyatun nafs. Purification of the soul and strengthening the soul. In some forms of spirituality, especially in some Eastern types of spirituality, they strengthen the soul by putting pressure on themselves, by doing difficult things, by not sleeping, not eating, not having proper dress, not having any comfort. They strengthen the soul. Okay, when the soul is strengthened, it gets new power. But this doesn't mean that you have become a better person. There are people who have some immaterial power, but they are very bad people. And they misuse this. Because of hardship that they have gone through, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, they have had very difficult life, they didn't eat, they didn't, drink, they didn't, enjoy life. Now the soul has become very strong. Even they can tell you what you are thinking about, what is in your mind. Even sometimes they can make you go to a direction that you don't want. So if you are weak in your willpower, they can play with you and take you from this side of the room to the other side of the room. But this doesn't mean that they are good people. They have strengthened their soul. In Islam, we are interested in purification of the soul, not strengthening the soul. Yes, in the process of purification, your soul can grow and become better. But through piety. A mu'min who is God-fearing would never want to know what is in the mind of people or heart of people. Yeah? If I am really fearing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I should do my best not to understand what is in your heart or mind. Yeah? Because that is the privacy that Allah has given everyone. And Allah is covering us. Why I should penetrate? It's like, for example, if I have ability to hack your email account, should I do it? So if someone can, through a spiritual way, hack to your heart, they shouldn't do this. One of the very difficult things that happen to some people in their spiritual journey is when they reach the point that they can see the realities of people. Imagine if you can be seeing the reality of people and see some people as human beings and some people as animals. Okay? Is it good? No, this is very painful. This is very difficult. Someone said to an alim, please tell me how I can see the true faces of people. Show me a dua, teach me a dua so that I can see. And he said, we are making always dua not to see. You want to see? This is not something good if you try to get it. If it comes by itself, then that's another thing. But you volunteer and then say, I want to see. The Prophet and Imams and very high caliber ulama, they are so large in their hearts and so patient that even if they see, they don't change their behavior. Yeah? But how many of us are like that? That you see the reality of this person, or you see that this person is tomorrow going to do this bad thing, and today you still show kindness to him. Who can be kind to his own killer? Like Imam Ali. If I know that someone is going to kill me after 100 years from now, I want to kill him. And ordinary people are like this. They cannot keep normal. They cannot, behave normal. So, we are interested in tazkiyatun nafs. Purification of the soul. What does it mean? It means that we want to remove any impurities from our heart. Because human heart is very changeable. One of the reasons it is called qalb, because qalb means transformation. Inqilab, qalb, taqallub, yanqalib, all means change. Our heart is very changeable. Sometimes heart is clean, or you can say pure. You can say tahir, you can say, for example, qalb salim, healthy, pure, clean. But sometimes it is dusted, sometimes it's rusted, sometimes it is polluted. If I am selfish, if I am jealous, if I am greedy, this means my heart is not pure. So I have to polish my heart. I have to clean my heart. I have to purify my heart. As you see in the book, I have referred to some verses of the Quran in which we have the concept of tazkiyatun nafs. But before that, let me finish the 3 stages of nafs and then we continue. The first, is nafs ammara. The second is an-nafsul lawwama, the blaming soul, not the commanding soul. The commanding soul is the basic. When you improve, then you have nafsul lawwama, which blames you when you do something bad. Nafs ammara asks you to do bad things, but when you have improved, you may do bad things, but then you get blamed by yourself. A mu'min, if does bad things, if a mu'min happens to do bad things, first of all, he will never enjoy it completely. Because he is always sad. Why I am doing this? Even if he is not able to resist against temptation, but his heart is full of pain. Mu'min cannot completely enjoy bad things. The people who completely enjoy bad things, these are not mu'min. Moment either doesn't enjoy at all sins, or if it enjoys, it's mixed with feeling bad. Yeah? Feeling guilty and feeling, painful. And immediately blame starts. He blames himself, she blames himself. Quran says, La uqsimu bin nafs al-lawwama. Chapter 75, verse 2. After nafs al-lawwama, then we have a higher level, which is an-nafsul mutma'inna, the tranquil or confident soul. Ya ayyatuha an-nafsul mutma'inna irji'i ila rabbika radiyatan mardiyya. Chapter 89, verses 27 to 30. Nafsul mutma'inna is the soul which is purified and it's remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, therefore has tranquility. Because ala bi-dhikrillahi tatma'innul qulub. Yeah? الذين آمنوا وتطمئن قلوبهم بذكر الله ألا بذكر الله تطمئن القلوب. With remembrance of Allah, hearts can become tranquil. When this becomes a permanent quality, established quality, then you have nafsul mutma'inna. Other people maybe experience this on and off, but when it becomes established, then you have tranquil soul. Ya ayyatuha an-nafsul mutma'inna. So this soul is not doing anything bad, so that can be blamed. Okay, now let's talk about tazkiyatun nafs. Ibrahim and Ismail alayhim as-salam, when they were raising the foundations of Kaaba, because Kaaba was not built for the first time by Ibrahim alayhi salam. Kaaba was before. Inna awwala baytin wudi'a lin-nas lalladhi bi Bakkata mubarak. This is the very first house built for humanity. House of God is also house of people. Yes? So, but it was ruined. So, Ibrahim alayhi salam and Ismail started restoring Kaaba. وَإِذْ يَرْفَعُ إِبْرَاهِيمُ الْقَوَاعِدَ مِنَ الْبَيْتِ وَإِسْمَاعِيلُ. They were raising the foundations. So the ruins were there, but they were making the walls. At that time, they made some du'as, which are very important. One dua is, they said to Allah, تَقَبَّلْ مِنَّا. Please accept this. And this is a very great dua, that whenever you do something, you have to be concerned about whether this is going to be accepted or not. Even if you are a prophet and you are making the house of Allah, still you cannot say this is going to be accepted. This shows their humbleness, They are prophets and they are asked by Allah and they are making the house of Allah. Is there anything better than this? But still they don't know whether, because acceptance is not only based on what you do, acceptance is based on your intention, your sincerity. إِنَّمَا يَتَقَبَّلُ اللَّهُ مِنَ الْمُتَّقِينَ. I can give you a cup of water and be accepted. I can make 10 mosques and rejected. Yeah, you cannot judge by what I am doing. It's a matter of sincerity. So they ask Allah, taqabbal minna. Another thing that they asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was to show them the rituals. Arana manasikana. Show us what we are supposed to do. They also ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be submissive. وَجَعَلْنَا مُسْلِمَيْنِ لَكَ. We want to be submissive to you. وَمِنْ ذُرِّيَّتِنَا أُمَّةً مُسْلِمَةً لَكَ. They were very also far-sighted, and at the same time that they were humble, but they were ambitious. You know, you can be humble and ambitious, and you can be arrogant and not ambitious. These are two different things. Okay? So, I can say to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that what I do is not important, is not special. But I expect you to give me a lot. Not because of what I have done, but because I know your mercy. I know your love. I know your treasures. So, they said, وَمِنْ ذُرِّيَّتِنَا أُمَّةً مُسْلِمَةً لَكَ. Please, in our progeny also put a nation who would be submissive to you. So, it's ambitious because still they do not have any progeny, but they are thinking about a nation to come. And you know, it is interesting in Genesis, if you start studying Genesis from chapter 16 to 21, you see Allah has promised in Genesis to Hagar and Abraham that he would have a nation through Ishmael. Even there is a mention of 12, princes or 12, leaders. So please raise a nation from our progeny who are submissive, and وَبَعَثْ فِيهِمْ رَسُولًا مِّنْ أَنفُسِهِمْ يَتْلُو عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتِكَ وَيُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةَ وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ. Raise among them a messenger from themselves, which is again very good because it means that we want a messenger also from our progeny. Yeah? That would recite your verses, teaches them the book and wisdom, and purifies them. This, in 3 verses in the Quran, has been confirmed that Allah has actually sent that messenger. Like in Surah Jumu'ah and Surah Baqarah, that Allah has actually sent. لَقَدْ مَنَّ اللَّهُ عَلَى الْمُؤْمِنِينَ إِذْ بَعَثَ فِيهِمْ رَسُولًا مِّنْ أَنفُسِهِمْ. This is the response to the dua of Ibrahim and Ismail, but there is a difference in the order. In the dua of Ibrahim and Ismail, tazkiyah, purification, comes after teaching, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He talks, brings tazkiyah before teaching. And Imam Khomeini rahmatullah used to say, this shows that first you have to purify and then you can teach people the book and wisdom. Allah corrected the order. Because if you want to have access to the book, not just to read the book, to have access, you have to be purified. لا يمسه إلا المطهرون. I think our time is over, so inshallah we continue this discussion inshallah next week. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.